So I'm here with Sean Preston, the founder and editor of Open Pen magazine. We're here at the Bell Pub, which is in between Liverpool Street and Aldgate East. Just to say a few words about Open Pen before we start talking. Open Pen is a short fiction magazine. It was founded in 2010 by Sean, who's an East Londoner, born and bred, still local. His affaire d'amour with literary fiction includes Ernest Hemingway, Franz Kafka, Nietzsche and Proust. So we better have a very highbrow conversation after that. So thanks for coming along, Sean. So first question inevitably is, tell us a bit about the path that led you to create Open Pen.
I guess that all starts as being a writer, actually, or at least attempting to be a writer in my sort of early 20s, and not really finding any sort of the sort of magazines that I kind of assumed that there would be. I guess short fiction magazines. And there were some, obviously, things like Pen Push and that sort of thing, but they were very much they're a platform for sort of established writers and people sort of first novel sort of writers, almost sort of getting the word out about their novel and that sort of thing, which is totally fine. But it did make me feel a bit like, well, how do you get to that stage? Where does a short fiction writer go to have their work published? And obviously at that time the internet was really kicking off with this sort of thing. But I just sort of thought, well, and I had a few things published online, and that was great. But after a while, I was like, well, that's not really. And at that age as well, everything's about print. It's about being published in print. There's some sort of verification, I think, that comes with that. And I thought, well, you know what? I'll start a short story magazine. I'll start a short fiction magazine. And
how long did it take you to plan?
Well, that's quite a few years. It was one of those things that, I mean, again, age came into it in that, it was always in the back of my head, like, well, this, maybe this time next year, I think I'll get going on this magazine.
I know that feeling.
And then, of course, you just sort of drink through it, and it never really happens. And I always thought, I just needed my life to be less busy. And this was a big thing for me to always say, this project is going to happen when my life is less busy. And I think I sort of got to about mid-20s and was like, do you know what? It's only going to get busier. It's like it's ludicrous to think that your life's going to somehow open up in ways that allows you to start these projects. So I said, well, I'm just going to get on with it and do it. So that was late 2010.
Well, how do you put an issue together? Because it's slightly different to a book, to some extent, but.
Okay, and I mean, and this was, again, it was all sort of, as I said, that first issue took so long because it was such a learning curve. But now I guess we've got it down to a fine tee in that most of it is reading through submissions, and I think that comes with popularity and that sort of thing as well. But the vast majority of time spent from issue to issue is administrating submissions, getting back to people, reading through submissions, and obviously discussing each submission as well. Shortlisting and getting to that point, and when you've got the content, that's when I sort of go rogue with it, and it's less a team and it's just me making sure that this magazine gets out when I'm.
Because you also do the design.
Yeah, and again that was that wasn't really my intention when I started with it, but it's just the nature of running a sort of free fiction magazine that you kind of have to.
You have to multitask.
You certainly do. You certainly do, and that's exactly what Open Pen has always been for me. It kind of meant that I've learned things that wouldn't normally have bothered with, but so it's all on me to get each magazine out when it comes to design. With this,
which is, I mean, has it developed much since?
No, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think sticking to what you originally wanted to do and seeing it out, because obviously the temptation is always to be, because the question that you hear a lot is, well, what are you going to do next? It's like, well, no, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I mean, I'm still putting out new fiction each time, right? So I don't really see why the platform needs to change that much. That original mould, it works. These things, they just will take time, I think. Issue to issue, it grows in terms of readership and the amount of submissions we get.
Open Pen is a free magazine. You also have a website, openpen.co.uk. How have you made that work? Because
I mean, it should be said that originally the reason it was free is because I was, as I said previously, I wasn't aware of how things work legally, that sort of thing. It's like, if it's free, no one can do anything to me. I'm just going to make this free magazine, and I'm not going to worry about anything else. As time's gone on, often been asked, "Well, do you think you'll ever charge for it?" And I've always thought, no, there's really no reason to actually. My point, for me to be able to go to print, we need to make a certain amount of money to do that, whether that's live shows or advertising that you see within the magazine or on the website. That's all I really need to do, and it's a very easy model for me to continue with. And I just think that also, we have a good readership, and I think that is built on the fact that we are free, right? I mean, people have given it the chance because it is just something they've picked up and read through, and now they're into. I really, really believe that it's a hard sell to have something like this that's printed fairly cheaply, very much in a sort of paperback mould, if you will. I think it's a real tough sell if you're going to start.
You mentioned events, and I think events are a key factor in trying to generate some revenue. But there are also events are key in sort of building a platform for authors. You've got to tread the floorboards. And how have you found the event side of it? How has that grown?
Yeah, I mean, again, that was something that I was not particularly interested in doing at first, and then I saw the importance of doing it as I went on. Number one, it's great for the authors. A lot of this is, as I said, it's about providing a platform for these writers. So a big part of that, and something they'll have to get used to if they want to go on and get published, is just be speaking in front of crowds. That's a huge part of the sell, rightly or wrongly. So in that sense, it's been great for writers, and I understood why they need that there. But also, obviously, it gives a face to Open Pen, and it builds that sort of a local community anyway. I mean, we're stock nationwide now, but really in the sort of East London is definitely our home in terms of our readership in our community, and I think a lot of that's on the back of events that we've done throughout London.
Has your point of view of the publishing industry changed over the last 5 years now that you're a publisher too?
One in that I knew very little about it obviously at first, and that's a huge learning curve. But over time, I kind of, all the things I really liked about publishing when I was young were that it seemed respectable, and that it seemed like that all the classics. I was reading that sort of thing. It was, and it always made me feel like I didn't want to be a part of that. But it was almost a sort of retrospective respect that I held for publishing, right? I mean, as I've gone on, what I've actually thought of more and more is, wow, I think publishing kind of needs to be a bit cooler. It needs to be a bit like music, I think, in a way that it's not, because actually when I was young, the books I was reading have been published 50 to 100 years ago. That's what I was into, and I don't think I'm alone in that when people first start reading books. So that doesn't happen in music very often, right? Obviously when you get into music you like what's going on at the moment, and I kind of thought, why is that the case? Why wasn't I into contemporary fiction? Surely I should have been. I mean, surely that should be the thing that you get into, and maybe I think that's probably a bigger issue in publishing than we really give it credit for.
So this is going. Can tell us about the book.
Okay, so the book is, I guess, a very natural progression of what we've been doing at Open Pen. I think after 10 issues, I was like, oh, should I do a book to celebrate 10 issues? And then I just kept on doing more issues.
We're at issue 14.
Yeah, and I think by the time that we've done the book, we've been sort of 15, 16 that we've got out. So the book's come about very much as well. We've got 5 years coming up at the start of next year. Let's get a book going to commemorate that. But I always thought, well, it's kind of, what's the point in doing a best of? I mean, people, if you're going to be into Open Pen, then obviously you've got all issues. So you've read everything already. Do you really pay for it after you've had it for free? So what we're going to do is all our favourites from Open Pen over the last 5 years, and then we're going to have new works of fiction from each of those authors as well. So about 10 authors all in all. And it should be good. There'll be lots of microfiction in there as well, because you've had a decent run with lots of flash. So it really should feel like an Open Pen book actually. So looking forward to making it all happen.
Is Josh Holloway who's doing the cover?
It's Josh Neal.
Josh Neal. So why did I think Josh Holloway?
He's a co-founder.
Yes.
And publishing. Yeah, he does a lot of the submissions.
What about doing genre focuses?
I think because. So when we started Open Pen, there wasn't that many magazines around like that, but now obviously there's loads over the last 5 years because short stories really blown up. But a lot of them are themed, and I totally get that because it means one, people are writing specifically for that issue. and two, it means that you kind of, as an issue, it all makes a bit more sense. Maybe it doesn't feel as cobbled together. But I think just by the fact that everyone else is doing that, and we are open pen, I've always tried to keep things as open as possible with the fiction that we're asking for.
So no poison pen.
No poison pen. That's a weird temptation to do like a Halloween special. I don't know where that came from. Thank God, I'm so glad I didn't do that. How horrendous that would have been.
Thanks for coming.
Mike, thanks for having me.
And buy Open Pen, the first book, crowdfunded. There'll be links. And yeah.
Thanks very much, Bobby.